While the U.S. House of Representatives passes another continuing resolution to fund the government through March 11th, this will avoid a possible shutdown if the Senate follows suit. However, some Republicans have concerns about the long-term effects temporary funding has on critical programs. Capitol Hill correspondent Erik Rosales joins us now. So, Erik, what are members most worried about?
Well, Tracy, Republicans tell me what they're most concerned about are national security issues, in particular funding for our military, especially what's taking place along the Ukraine border right now. But we have learned within the past hour that lawmakers in both the House and the Senate, they come to an agreement on the framework of the 2022 government funding bill. However, when I asked how much it's going to cost, they wouldn't elaborate on that number just yet. Bottom line, Republicans say that a permanent 2022 government funding bill needs to take place quickly.
If we do, let's say, another continuing resolution, all that does is we're continuing spending from where it was before forward. And it could be that you don't want to have certain things in there to begin with. You have changes out there ought to be made. But in this case, again, we're not doing our job.
Kicking the can down the road, and that means military funding is currently frozen at 2021 levels. Catholic Congressman Rodney Davis tells me the Defense Department needs more money to meet growing threats from Russia, China, and cyber attacks, among others.
These short-term continuing resolutions, they put many critical military projects in jeopardy because they're not going to be funded long-term. They won't be started, they won't be completed, and in the end, this is not the way to govern.
And there's another concern. Policy riders like pro-life protections have been added annually to federal budgets. The current extension includes those protections left over from the Trump administration. But Democrats like Catholic House Speaker Nancy Pelosi have publicly said she doesn't want Hyde Amendment protections put into these bills. She also wants to codify Roe v. Wade. West Virginia Congressman Alex Mooney, also a Catholic, says pro-lifers on the Hill will stand strong.
It's wrong to spend taxpayer dollars on killing unborn children, but that's what's happening in the House of Representatives today. We need to change that. We need to limit spending to things that are morally right and also necessary.
We're going to continue to fight for the Hyde protections, not just in short-term bills, but in long-term funding bills too. It's the right thing to do because it saves lives.
It's important to note, as I reported earlier this week, Senator James Langford has assured me that pro-life protections, all pro-life protections, such as the Hyde Amendment, the Helms Amendment, and others, will be in the 2022 government funding spending bill. However, he wants to see it in writing first. At the Capitol, Erik Rosales, EWTN News Nightly.